Welcome back to how to create a pre-engineered building in COMOSYS 2024, and this probably part 4. And we are going straight to creating splice connection, rafter splice connection here. You can see we have our rafter in place, so we want just to add some connection here. So what do we do? I'll come to splice connections. So let me just scroll up and minimize this so that we don't our macro gallery doesn't look so much clogged or too busy. So let me just come to splice and click on the splice here. So once we are in splice, I'm going to pick on the tapered splice here. Pick on that. So I want to select on that and select on this. So we'll have these in place, a default one. So in here, I'm going to just select any part of this connection and press letter M and enter. So once I've done so, this will bring in the editor dialog box for that particular splice connection. So just give some time to bring the dialog box in place. So thereon we'll be able to customize it further. So let me just to go straight and start customizing it. So since as I had done for the base plate for the knee connection, I have my macro preset connection here so that we don't waste so much time. So once I've picked on this, I'll click on the drop down arrow and I'll come to rafter splice connection here and pick on that and click load. So once I've loaded that, I'll go ahead and click apply. So once I've clicked apply, I will not go ahead and close this. I want just to share with you the settings that I had used so that you can apply on yours and save on your system. So I'll come to general here. So under general, you can see the details I applied. And if I come to plate, you can see all the details I have, all details on the chamfers and the dimensions for the chamfers I had selected. And if I come to bolts, you can see the bolts size and the dimensions and center bolts I had used. So if I come to welding, I left it at default. And if I come to macro there, you can now define the name of this splice connection. So I'll just go ahead and click on OK. So that's OK, and I hope you've picked up the settings that I had used there. So let me come back and create a connection between that and this. And I'll give it some time by right clicking. If I right click, I'll walk away from that default connection. Then I'll come back and pick any part of that particular connection and press letter M on my keyboard and type enter on my keyboard. This will bring the editor dialog box of this particular connection. Now from there, I'll be able to customize it, add more details, or add my own details that I think is fit for this particular connection. So fortunately enough, we have the editor dialog box in place. So let me just drag this aside. So once I've dragged this aside, I'll go to my settings or my preferred connections here. The reason why I prefer these is because it trims down the time you waste in walking around up and down, making trial and error of dimensions, which is very wrong. The moment you've picked the best connection, please save it. However many connection you'll come across or you create, please save, because at any time you'll require that particular connection. So there's no need of going back and create it once again. Just save it. As in my case, I had saved this, and I'm going to pick a rafter splice and load that and click apply. So I'll have this in place and perfect in place. So the next thing, I'm going to create a connection here at the apex here. So this will be slightly slightly hectic, but not that hectic. We'll use a different connection. So this one here, I'll not use the PEB splice here. I'm going to use beam to beam connection. So if I come beam to beam connection here, I'll be able to pick on the knee connection type 1. So if I come here, I'll just select on that, invoke the command first, and pick the moment you invoke the command, if you take along the bottom end here, you'll be instructed to pick the first beam. So this will be my first beam, and this will be my second beam. So you'll see I have the connection, but the default connection in place with some stiffeners in place, but I don't need this stiffener in any way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select on any part of this particular connection, then press letter M on my keyboard and press enter key on my keyboard. This normally will bring up the editor dialog box. So inside the editor dialog box, you'll be able to add more details of your choice. Now, here we are, and I'll go straight to macro presets here. I prefer these because I don't waste so much time. So you can see Apex name, connection 01. So I'll select this. The good thing I'm going to do, I pick this, then share with you the connection that the details or the measurements I used to customize this particular connection, so that you can apply the same on yours. So I've picked on this and click load. So the moment I click load, I'll click apply. I've picked on apply, but it's somehow bigger, but you can go further and readjust this. You can add more bolts here. So I'll come to bolts here, and inside the bolts, let me just come to general here. I need more bolts here. This is it's way off the edge. So let me come here and add a single bolt there to make it 6. If I apply that, that will be okay. So you see I've added some details in here. So I'm going to add that detail here. I'm going to just click save. So the detail I've added here has been added on this. So once I've clicked save, I click load and click apply and click OK. So the next time I use this, I will not have the previous bolts that it was ending from here, ending somewhere here. The new one will take effect immediately. So I'll just go ahead and click OK. So you can see we have these in place. So we have the details in place right there. You can see we have the bolts at the bottom end there. We have the bolts already displayed, or you can see how neat this is. So you can apply the same thing on the other end. So there's no need of doing the same thing on the other end. Once we've done it this end, we just do the same thing on the other end. So let's meet then, and the next thing we'll do on the next presentation is now to populate this along the x-axis. So kindly let's meet then on the next presentation, and I hope you try this by yourself. And this is very interesting to use. COMOSYS is very interesting to use and very user friendly. I hope you try that by yourself. So bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to have a trial on COMOSYS. Have the taste and have the very interesting usage. I mean, it's very user friendly compared to other detailing and analysis software. Remember, this is all in one. You can analyze, you can detail, you can do all sorts of things inside here. So let's meet then. Bye bye. This is Morris Diba, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Once again, bye bye.